All right, boys. So last night at UFC Atlanta, we saw, in my opinion, the worst acting performance that I've ever seen in my entire life as an MMA fan. This beats Aljamain Sterling's faking controversy against Piotr Jan. That puts that to shame. This was just a disgrace, and I think the UFC should start fining fighters for faking like this, faking fouls to try to get an easy win. So, first of all, fight was Paul Craig, who this was it was discussed as his last UFC fight, and Rodolfo Bellato. And these two were supposed to fight a couple months back, I believe, and it didn't end up happening because Bellato tested positive for herpes. That is a true story from what I read. I'm not going to waste your time. Let's just jump right into it because I will tell you, a lot of people are on the fence about this, if he was faking it or not. So let's pull it up right now. So the up kick happens, and right when he gets up kicked, a lot of people are saying they're comparing it to the flash knockout from Shane Burgos against Edson Barbosa. But with the difference with this and that fight is that he steps back and then he all of a sudden just stumbles back. And it doesn't make sense because Shane Burgos wouldn't fake that, first and foremost, and it was a genuine reaction. You see it in his eyes. You know, if you're conscious, in my opinion, I've never gotten up kicked by Paul Craig before, but I don't know, this could just be me. If I'm concussed, my first reaction is I don't have a reaction. I'm concussed. I'm gonna be knocked out and dead pretty much. But the problem with this scenario is the fact that his first reaction is looking to the ref and complaining. And then he realizes that, oh, it's an illegal shot. If I milk this, I can get an easy disqualification win. First round, took no damage. Sick. Problem with that is that he completely looked at the ref and had his arms up in the air. Then all of a sudden he flopped. You don't just do that. I guess it could happen, but I mean, dude, that just doesn't make sense to me. And then he starts twitching like a fish fresh out of water. The crazy thing is he actually starts fighting with the ref. Credit to him because he goes full out with his acting performance. Like he's willing to engage with the ref a bit. It just looks weird. Even in the replay, you really see it. In the replay, you really see it. Okay, here it is. Here's the angle I want. For sure, illegal shot. But dude, it's the fact that he gets kicked, looks at the ref. To me, you're faking it at this point. 100% faking it at this point. There's no way you're conscious and you just got kicked. I'm not arguing that it wasn't a hard kick like that, dude. That's for sure a point at the minimum. But dude, you're not, if you're conscious, you're not going to be flailing your arms looking at the ref like, what the fuck, man. So dude does that, flails back, makes no sense. I don't know. To me, that doesn't make sense. But let's see what Reddit has to say. I mean, because no one lies on Reddit, right? Give this dude an Emmy. He was not out. Insane acting. Cut him, Dana. I wouldn't cut him. First of all, he's a very exciting fighter. I had the privilege of actually watching him fight in Austin. Definitely wouldn't cut him for this. I would fine him for sure. OMG, this is the best view. His head didn't slam on the ground. Initially, I thought there's a small chance that his head hitting the ground caused him to go out. But here you can clearly see that's not the case. The dude catches his fall, doesn't let his head hit the ground hard, pauses for a millisecond, and then goes out. LMAO. Yeah, again, he broke his fall. If you're knocked out, you don't break your fall. The scariest part about getting knocked out is you hitting your head again. That's what causes a crazy amount of damage. Another thing is that the tough part about this is, like I said before, he's a very exciting fighter. His last fight, I think it was against Jimmy Crute. An amazing fight. I think it might have been fight of the night too. So that was my opinion about him, is that he's an exciting fighter. He's tough as nails, always has entertaining fights for fans. And then after this, I'm going to be like, I'm going to be questioning his performance, like going forward, like his next fight. I'm not going to be as hyped because it's just a bitter taste in MMA fans' mouth. It's like when Paddy Pimblett and Jared Gordon, you know, when he won that fight, and then, you know, saying how he dominated Jared Gordon that whole campaign that he was on. Again, bitter taste in MMA fans' mouths with that. So it was just embarrassing. And yeah, I honestly think the UFC should fine fighters for like this, without a doubt. It makes the sport look bad. It makes it look like soccer. I like soccer, but the worst part about soccer, it takes me an adjustment to watch it, is all the diving. It's just embarrassing. And that's why I can't watch basketball. All the flopping. It's just brutal and I hate it.